Hello everyone, welcome to another lecture of general medicine where I make a dreadful topic easy to learn. And for that, I shall be referring to the mind maps on general medicine by MediStudy Go. This book contains every topic in pictorial format which is very easy to learn and memorize. And if you'd like to get this book for yourself, do order it from e-commerce platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, Dentalcart and even the website by MediStudy Go. Let's get into the lecture for today, which is on chronic bronchitis. Starting with chronic bronchitis, the first and the foremost thing we need to know is what is it? What is the definition of chronic bronchitis? It is a chronic productive cough lasting for more than 3 months and for 2 consecutive years because of inflamed bronchial tubules. So it is an inflammatory disorder of the respiratory system which is chronic in nature. And it has a strong link with smoking and COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and is usually bilateral in chronic cases where it involves both the lungs. What are the common etiologic conditions or agents which lead to chronic bronchitis and such inflammation? It can be because of respiratory infections, be it bacterial or viral, asthma, cystic fibrosis, which leads to fibrosis in the lungs and the formation of cysts, which can cause obstruction and thereby reduced breathing. There can be bronchiectasis, chronic GERD, which can lead to acidic content and implications because of the high acidity. Genetics can be present wherein the parents and the hereditary lineage is getting affected. The chronic bronchitis can occur because of a primary cause also and not as a manifestation of some other disease. It can be because of irritants like active smoking, inhaled irritants because of dust, pollen, mist, etc., toxic chemicals, and even industrial pollutants. So these are the basic etiologic agents which somehow lead to chronic bronchitis or can certainly have manifestation in the form of inflammation of the bronchioles. After we know the etiologic agents, we need to know what actually is happening and how is bronchitis happening and what is the pathophysiology. So the pathophysiology includes that chronic irritation of the bronchial mucosa happens due to such etiologic factors which we studied before. This chronic irritation leads to an increased inflammation, which leads to increased mucus production in the bronchioles, and this causes obstruction and difficulty in breathing by the patient because of blockage. So the goblet cell hyperplasia can happen, which causes excess mucus production. This mucus production has decreased mucociliary clearance because the cilia are also getting affected. Chronic inflammation happens and bronchioles are also narrow. So the mucus stasis happens and the mucus is not getting cleared as fast as it should. This leads to hypoxemia because the lungs get blocked, bronchioles get blocked. So that leads to, if not treated, leads to chronic hypoxia, which causes the breathing disorder. As we can see, exposure to irritants can lead to hypertrophy and hyperplasia of the cilia, or the cilia being short and less mobile, they can get harder to move the mucus. That can lead to obstruction in the bronchioles and therefore majority of air being trapped and not being perfused into the blood, thereby leading to difficulty in breathing. Also, the patients affected by chronic bronchitis is usually known as blue bloaters because they have decreased oxygen and increased CO2, which can give a cyanosis-like appearance, leading to the term blue bloaters. What are the clinical features of patients presenting with chronic bronchitis? As the term suggests, chronic, there is going to be chronic persistent cough because of the inhaled irritants. This leads to breathlessness because the patient tries to breathe, but he keeps coughing all the time. There's going to be inspiratory crackles because again, extra mucus is going to cause blockage. When the air is being inhaled, it is going to get trapped into the mucus and crepitations will be there. Expiratory wheezing, that is noise while the patient is expiring the air. There is recurrent respiratory infection and mucus production is present, which is clear, yellow or green. This mucus leads to mucus plugging in the bronchioles and the lungs get infected, and this worsens all the symptoms because now the lungs are not functioning only. Once we know how the patient is presenting to us, we need to have lab tests or some imaging tests to confirm our diagnosis. And for that, we move towards investigations, which includes CBC, because any infection is going to increase the ESR, CRP, TLC, and the DLC count. So CBC is very important. Chest X-ray is going to show you the underlying cause, which is leading to chronic bronchitis as a manifestation. When we do oxygen saturation, because that is going to be decreased and CO2 is going to be increased. Pulmonary function test can be done wherein the FEV test is done and that is usually decreased because the perfusion is not happening correctly. Lastly, we can use genetic markers if the disease is genetic and hereditary in nature, because then alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency can be present, which further leads to this disease. Other than this, the patient is going to be complaining of cyanosis and being overweight, which leads to the term blue bloater. After we have confirmed the patient for chronic bronchitis, we need to exclude it from some other diseases for differential diagnosis like asthma, bacterial pharyngitis, bronchiectasis, bronchiolitis, and COPD. Now, in asthma, we know it is because of some irritant or something which is present, which is causing difficulty in breathing. Bacterial pharyngitis is going to show the presence of the bacteria being involved, and all the other diseases are also obstructive in nature, and they shall be differentiated from chronic bronchitis correctly so that the treatment can be provided according to the condition which is being affected. Now, what is the treatment for chronic bronchitis? The first and the foremost treatment is to remove the etiology, remove the trigger and the cause. And if it is smoking, smoking cessation must be there. Pharmacologic intervention. Now, if some tubule is this small and air has to pass through or anything has to pass through, we need to dilate it. So for bronchioles, we use bronchodilators, which is short acting and long acting, like salbutamol and salmeterol. We can also use anticholinergics for this action. After that, we can also use glucocorticoids because they decrease the immune response and the inflammation happening in the body. For that, we can also get reduced mucus production because the cells are going to be slower down, and that leads to decreased mucus production, better clearing of the mucosa from the bronchioles, and the patient can breathe fine again. We can also require antibiotic therapy if any microorganism is infecting and the irritant is present in the form of parasite, viral, or bacterial infection. Also, we can use phosphodiesterase 4 inhibitors because they decrease the inflammation, which thereby decreases the mucus and increases the productivity of the treatment which we are giving, and the patient gets corrected. So this is how you can compile this topic for chronic bronchitis under the mentioned headings. And then when you complete the revision, you can just open the app by MediStudy Go, go on to this topic, revise the mind map, and solve some MCQs and flashcards right there. For example, if I give you a flashcard right now for this topic, why are chronic bronchitis patients called blue bloaters? Because blue is for cyanosis and bloaters is because they are overweight, and that leads to the term blue bloaters. So you can easily view the explanation and the answer in the MIP right there. Now, which gas abnormality is commonly seen? Decreased carbon dioxide, increased oxygen, normal, or increased carbon dioxide? So obviously there's going to be decreased oxygen and increased carbon dioxide, which is going to the lead option D. And explanation is given for maximum questions in the app. The app which I'm talking about is this one by MediStudy Go, wherein you can use all the resources like mind maps, notes, videos, flashcards, and MCQs. It is an inbuilt feature to use the coins present in the app to encache these resources. You can easily use it, create a streak on the app, and then follow it up so that your revision game is very strong. Also, if you'd like to view more videos on general medicine or any other subject for BDS, do follow and subscribe this channel on MediStudy Go at YouTube. Also, drop a like for this video and a comment below this video if you have any doubt regarding the topic or regarding the acquirement of the resources by MediStudy Go. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, keep watching for more.